Wolf of Fantasy Sports, Dfs Wolfpack, NFL Week 9 Superdraft. $20 entry fee, $25,000 to first in the red zone contest. Check it out. No salary, all multiplier. Quarterback position. The 1x players, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. I like Kyler over Russ, but I think they're both definitely in play here. If you want to go play it safe, just take the raw points. Mahomes got somewhat of a bump as a multiplier, so 1.05 in play, and Josh Allen at 1.1. I like that a lot up top. Looking at Watson at 1.2 and Herbert 1.25x. I like those plays a lot. I'll have some exposure. As far as going with multiplier players, higher multiplier. Looking at Drew Lock at 1.65, he threw 3 touchdowns last week, and now he has the fruitful Atlanta defense that's given it up. They're the second most in passing yards per game this year. None other. Second to Seattle. So Seattle's giving it up the most as far as passing yards per game. Atlanta's right behind them, second to last. So I think Drew Lock here with that multiplier, probably 2-3 touchdowns here, and that could be a competitive game. So 1.65, that's probably as low as I'm going to go down here. You got that Jacksonville quarterback, Luton. He's 2x versus Houston. That's a gamble. If you're playing GPPs, multiple, maybe he's worth a dart throw. The Dallas guy, I'm not even going to think about it versus Pittsburgh. One of the best defenses out there. So probably as low as I go with that high multiplier, 1.65, Drew Lock. You could take a shot on Tua on the road, games indoors versus Arizona. Tua could surprise some people here on this spot, especially with his debut not being that great. If he goes off, I guarantee you'll see him at the top of this tournament. I think he'll come in low on him too. I like Herbert though. I'm going to have exposure to Herbert, Josh Allen. Like I said, Seattle gives it up the most passing yards per game. Kyler Murray. And then possibly Wilson here. So we're going to lock in Josh Allen, my bounce back candidate of the week for DraftKings. Looking at running back position, Dalvin Cook, 1.15x. It's not 1x, and he's in another good spot. So you could lock him in there. Josh Jacobs had 31 attempts last week. Chargers gave it up to Robinson. They gave it up to a number of other running backs. Check out the running backs that faced the Chargers. Few of them have went off. Jacobs due for another breakout. This could be it. 31 attempts last week. He's getting the workload. So it's just up to him to get in the box, put up a big fantasy score at 1.3x. I could definitely see him paying off here. James Conner. James Conner at 1.35x versus Dallas. This game could be a total lopsided blowout. James Conner could have 100 plus yards here, get in the box 1 or 2 times. Definitely think he's viable at 1.35. Someone I'm going to have exposure to. I'm just going to lock him in for the first look. Give you a play at each position. 1x, obviously, Hopkins versus Miami. Jones without Ridley. If Ridley doesn't play, looking at that because his attempts are crazy as far as the looks he's going to receive here in this matchup. Metcalf versus Buffalo. It's good to see some Trey White, but honestly, he's bigger than Trey White, and Trey White can get beat. One-on-one, I'd take Metcalf over Trey White, and I'm a Bills fan, and I know them pretty well. Follow the team, watch the team every week. Trey White got burnt by D-Hop when Houston played him, and I think Metcalf is Mega Calf. Mega Calf, T.O. He's elite. I think he can win that one-on-one matchup with Trey White. Now, don't get me wrong. I think he can win it throughout the game. If it comes down to one play, Trey White can give him fits. But I think throughout the game, Metcalf could definitely take advantage of him there. And he has the height, and in the red zone, I think he could definitely get a touchdown on him. Maybe 1 or 2. Get a couple looks in the red zone. I think he could get him. So looking at Tyreek, 1.2x, always in play. Lockett. So Lockett's 1.25. You're looking at, that's a good play. That's a good play versus Buffalo. Because more likely than not, slot receiver is not going to see White all that much, if not at all. So Lockett could be the go-to guy. And it's been flip-flopping back and forth. So seems like it's a Lockett week from the feel of things. Looking at Stephon Diggs, I like Josh Allen. You got to like Diggs. He saw 8+ targets in the last 3. And he's just a target monster on this team. And he's clicking with Josh Allen. And it's only a matter of time before he really explodes. Seattle gives it up the most in the air. They're leading the NFL. 300+ yards per game. So Diggs, we're going to lock him in here on his first look for Superdraft. And if you go down, we're looking for a multiplier play here. Allen, 1.35. Keenan, definitely somebody I got my eye on. Seeing a lot of targets. Seems to be Herbert's guy, lock-on guy. Going down to F1 McLaurin, got a good multiplier, 1.55. Deontay Johnson, if he makes it through the game, you know what he can do, 1.55x. Like that a lot. Cooks, 1.6x. These are players that I could see at the top of GPPs. If you're doing lock, pair him up with Judy, 1.7x. Keep an eye on that guy. Wherever he's cheap, definitely in play in GPPs. And on this site, good multiplier in play. And that's pretty much it, you know, just to get different. I'll take the multiplier on Judy. Now we're going to tight end position. So Kelsey, 1x. Play it safe, you know, go with a floor of a player, possible ceiling. Kelsey seems to be a good play in this matchup at home. Game could be competitive with Carolina. Could have McCaffrey. Could go a little bit back and forth there. I mean, Carolina, you attack them on the ground. So Kelsey could be low owned in this spot. Low owned more than others. Font, 1.4x. Henry, due for a blow-up game, 1.5x. Looking at Ebron, 1.65. No Ridley. Hurst could see an uptick in targets. That's 1.7x versus Denver. It's a possibility. So I'll be looking into tight end position a little bit more. I'm looking for a super multiplier play. It gets ugly. It gets ugly the lower you go. So really nobody I want to play down here all that much. Somebody comes to mind throughout the week, you know, a 2x play will definitely get it done. But there's really nobody down there I really want to play. I would say Henry, 1.5 versus Vegas. Waller's 1.2. I could see that. I want the targets for tight end. So Font, Waller, or just roll out Kelsey. Thinking Hayden Hurst. If you want that multiplier, Hayden Hurst without Ridley, I think you can see 5 to 10 targets here. 1.7x. That'd be the play for me. You got Logan Thomas. You got Burton. A little bit higher of a multiplier. And that's pretty much it. You got to lock one guy in. I'm going to lock a guy in. I'm going to roll out Hayden Hurst. Just get different in this first look build. So I got Josh Allen, paired him up with Diggs. Now, there was a stack that week that Cincinnati went off with Burrow and Gio Bernard, and was it Higgins or Tyler Boyd? I think it was Tyler Boyd. You can stack on Superdraft. It's really not all that recommended, but you can do it, and you can get to the top of GPPs on Superdraft doing that week. That stack that I recommended of Cincinnati, it went off. So it's possible. So look into it. It's a little bit lower owned. A lot of people don't do it. And good luck this week. These are some of the players I'm targeting. Let's get to the top. 1.